We got it.
I might be a YouTuber, but I still get, like, awkward.
It's okay. We're humans.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to the Living and Holy podcast. No, the Living and Holy Sacrifice podcast. I remember my own podcast name. Trust me. It's not like I just thought of it yesterday. I'm McKenzie.
And I'm Madison Rose.
We've been planning this.
We have been planning. Well, we plan to do this in, I don't know, like October or something.
Yeah.
Forever ago.
So, like, it was a video on my vlogs channel, which I'll find and put in, like, the description of this video or something. And we were talking about, oh, yeah, we should do a podcast and everything. And then we've planned it. And, well, not actually that much planning, but...
No, just like, we should do it. Hey,
I'm
coming over, because I don't live here
about.
on this undisclosed campus, but I do come here all the time to visit friends and stuff, like McKenzie here.
Which you're not seeing much of, because, you know, this is a dorm.
No way, we're in a dorm right now?
We are in a dorm. We're college students, guys.
Oh, that's crazy.
And we're in a dorm in the middle of the summer.
What?
It's because she lives in town and I'm working on campus, so...
And I don't have a job. I'm getting one, though. I'll find one.
Yep.
Yes.
And I'm taking this week off because... I don't think humans were meant to clean for 8 hours a day.
Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
That's insane.
I'm cleaning.
Good for you. Good.
Well, we have something funny to show you.
Yes, we do.
We were riding up here. I was showing her where to park, and we were just talking, and
my voice to text for texting McKenzie was on, and I didn't know. So it picked up on our conversation. We weren't driving for a long time. We were just going around.
Yeah, it was
we had
just
to go
a couple
completely
minutes
around campus. But it says PMP. At least we tried to get park up there because hardly anybody. I was like, okay, I think I know where, because like a little bit of here, but then like all the other spots you have to go all the way around. So am I going? Which way am I going? Go laugh up there and kind of go the way up to the fall. Oh yeah. Okay, I forgot. You might have like not that big, and I'm in now. I don't do a bunch of stuff on Instagram like you put away. What? I don't want that. Don't know who you are. Have a baby with a baby. She looks familiar. She looks familiar. Where am I?
Have a baby.
No, it says with a baby. It says, I don't know, but who you are, have a baby with a baby. She looks familiar. I don't know.
This is not what we were actually saying.
No,
guys.
You've been welcome to my car. I did say that.
You did say that, yeah.
I don't know if you have anyway. This is where you're not allowed to go out that way. Oh, I know where we are.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know where we are. This is way you're not allowed to go up that one. Wait, no, I don't remember. I interrupt my mom worked on campus. I was here. Oh, yeah, my dad lived here. Like, my dad went here to college here. I mean, it says the 19th, but I said the 90s. But, like, I used to be a toddler back and forth. It was all created this tree. I'm sure it was something knocked the flood it all out. But, look, it says Avery built it. And, like, yeah, they finished. Avery, you built this place? Oh, yeah, I think so. You'll turn right here. Okay, in my head, I was just like, this terrace, but I think it's a cottage, which is different.
I remember you saying that.
I know. I think it's considered a terrace, but it's kind of the way up other...
Why did Avery build the terrace?
That's what I'm confused about. And then that's why there are a lot of people on campus. A lot of people, we go here this way. There's a lot of difficulty here. I was here for movie night 2 years ago with my friend Libby, and I am parked all the way up here. True story.
Also, if we're talking like Libby and Avery, They're great.
They are great.
So name drop. The roomies, cool. Libby and Avery. Freaking cool peeps.
True. And I am parked all the way up here. I am going to turn and tell you over here. Cora's not going to see this. But
Cora is a building.
Cora is a building. Oh, Cora is a building. I thought I have a friend named Cora who doesn't live anywhere near here, which is not where we're going. So we'll pass no, and then we go. I realize I've had an awful guy, so you don't want to come to the guy around Cora. And then Fel, you can technically park handicapped, but also just go for a few minutes to drop the eye or whatever. So you need your visitor didn't park anywhere, so no one's there. Send. And that was our conversation on the way up here with no punctuation.
So I think we should start with maybe just me reading the verse of what inspired the name of the Living and Holy Sacrifice podcast.
Good.
Real quick.
Perfect. Let's do it.
It's Romans 12. This is the NIV. 1 through 2. Therefore, I urge you, brothers, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual act of worship. And also in the ESV, it will say living and holy sacrifices. So, and also verse 2 is great. Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. So,
do you know the VBS from 3 years ago, for most churches was the Breaker Rock Beach. The verse 2 was the memory
verse. Is that
verse.
Lifeway or something?
Yeah, that was Lifeway. Yeah,
Lifeway?
It was.
That must have been 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, that's after my.
Yeah,
VBS
it was
years.
Do not conform. I know some of the motions.
I feel like I've heard of it, but that is after my VBS years. So. During my VBS years, my first VBS that I remember at a church that we went to for a long time was probably Submerged.
Yes, bubbling up, and
the whole submerged. Yes,
okay, yes. I do remember that. The only reason why I said Breaker Rock Beach is because at the camp that I worked at, they do the VBS from the year before, so they buy all the decorations and stuff from the previous VBS, and then they have it for the camp. So this year at camp, it was magnified, which was last year's VBS. So I know all the motions to that one. And then the year before, they did Breaker Rock Beach. So that's why I was like, oh, yes. But anyway, that was a small tangent.
Yeah, VBS years. Yeah. Growing up in Southern Baptist churches.
VBS rocks, though.
I love it.
Yeah. Me too.
By the way, this was not very well planned. I know, we had months.
It's not very well planned. No, we officially decided to do it yesterday.
Yeah.
Time and place and topic yesterday. Okay.
I'll go first. Okay. So, I grew up in a Christian household. Everything. My mom, she grew up also in a Christian household. My dad became a Christian as an adult. And my mom's dad became a Christian as an adult. So it's not like I grew up in a Christian household, but literally not everyone in the generations have. So yeah. So I grew up in a Christian household, we all went to church. And
sorry, I don't know if I should be looking at you or being like, keep going.
No, I don't care. All right, I'm trying to think. But you know, a lot of people are like, oh, but I have a boring testimony and blah, blah, blah. I don't. At 12 years old, I thought that I was going to leave Christianity to be gay.
Happens.
Happens? That's crazy.
Hey. Me too, twin. Me too. We'll get into me in a second. You keep going.
So, like, you know, COVID hits, and everyone's terrified of, like, germs. Sorry.
That is what happened. Correct.
And, like, you know, we're not going to church as much because church is closed. But then, like, you know, church starts to meet back up and everything like that. And I start to see my friends again. And, so, like, I had a best friend at the time that is not the same best friend that I have now. Just to be clear. I like to be clear with that because, you know, some people have an idea of who my best friend is now, and it's not her. It's someone else. It's someone else. So, like, my best friend at this time of my life, that I had at church, not co-op. I had other best friends at co-op, but this was, like, the best friend I had at church.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I remember one Sunday, it was one of the first Sundays back at church, and we were, like, sitting in the pews, you know, waiting for church to start. And then, like, she, like, tells me that she found out that she's bi. And, you know, at the time, like, I knew what it was at that point because I was looking up stuff about, like, Disney actresses from Descendants. So that's how I learned what that stuff was. I was never told by my family. So, like, I knew what it was.
Are you telling me that Dove Cameron turned you gay?
Dove Cameron, it is Dove Cameron. Yeah, Dove Cameron is the one that, like, I saw, like, on, I don't know, maybe Wikipedia or something. I saw that she was bi, and I was like, what's that? So I looked it up, and I'm like, okay.
Fire, people like people. Whoa. That's insane.
What?
I said, whoa, people like other people. Whoa, that's insane.
I know, right? People having attractions? Bruh. Anyway. So like, my best friend at the time tells me that she's bi, and I'm like, I don't.
Dove Cameron. I'm sorry.
I didn't say that.
I'm sorry.
Actually, I don't remember what I said, but I remember that I responded in the worst way possible. I was like, no, that's sin. You know, I don't know. Like just imagine Nikki and Obsession. No, don't do that. Like, no, it wasn't exactly like that, but, you know, it was kind of bad like that. Also, I don't really like horror. I haven't watched that movie, but I have seen enough clips on TikTok to be actually a fan of that sound. So I love the no. Yeah, I love doing that.
I thought we were having
a nice date. So she tells me that, and I responded awfully. Was I homophobic at the time?
Quite possibly. You probably didn't know what homophobia was.
Yeah, I didn't really know what it was.
Like, gay equals sin. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I didn't really understand a lot of things. So, but then, like, you know, I guess after a little while, I was more chill about it. And then there was a new girl that came. And there was this new girl that came to church. And this is funny. This is funny. Okay, so, like, I remember, like, the first time that, like, we went to small group, and, like, I saw her in small group and everything. And it was, like, you know those movie scenes that's, like, love at first sight? That's what it felt like.
I see.
One of the things that I, like, recognized right away is, like, that person has bangs like mine, which my bangs are crappy right now because my hair is growing. But at the time, the person had bangs a lot like mine. I was 12, okay? I was 12. that's not the only reason why I like the person. But, like, then we all ended up being friends, and, like, basically this whole friend group started forming at youth group. I was in youth at this time. I was, like, in 6th grade, and so my friends were in 7th grade. So, and, like, you know, all of this is happening, so that's, like, my first girl crush, which is probably a bit up to debate, because I don't know, but that's the first girl crush that I had that I knew was a crush.
Yeah.
So I remember, like, fast forward some time, like, I come out to my best friend, and coming out to her, it was very interesting.
Good job.
I'm sorry, guys. It was very interesting because I was like, I think I was, like, trying to tell her about a crush I had, and I was like, and it's a sin though, and everything. She's like, you're like a girl. I don't know. It's like, you know, growing up in the church and, like, realizing these, like, attractions that you're having, and, like, coming out, you're just like, it's a sin though. But, like, I don't. It's interesting because, like, at that point in my life, I didn't really, like, believe. Like, I didn't believe enough that I really cared about what God's word said.
Yeah.
Even though I knew what it said. So, like, even back then, like, when some of my friends were like, oh yeah, I can totally be living in this lifestyle and be a Christian, I was just always like, no, I'm just not gonna be a Christian, because I knew you can't do both.
Yeah.
I just knew it wasn't really up to debate for me at that time at all. I was just like, no, can't do both. I'm just not gonna be a Christian. So, and, you know, in the midst of this, like, bigger friend group, the three of us. Oh, by the way, my girl crush at the time, we did find out that she's also bi. So we kind of, in the midst of this bigger friend group, we also made a little tiny group with the three of us that we called the Bi Club. And then there was also another friend that ended up coming out to me as lesbian. So not bi, which was surprising. No, not really. You always start out as bi, and then you turn lesbian. But not this person. She was just like, I'm lesbian, which was interesting. Fast forward a little bit, like, we're all friends and stuff like that. And I'm getting close to my 13th birthday, so I'm, you know, gonna have this birthday party. I'm inviting my friends and all that stuff. But I'm also making this plan, all right? And my plan was that I was going to leave Christianity, but secretly, because, you know, I didn't want to tell my family. So, like, I was going to leave Christianity, but secretly, until I was, like, 18 years old, which is crazy because now I'm 18 years old. And I was going to tell my crush that I liked her in hopes that I would have also a secret girlfriend all of those years. How was I gonna have a secret girlfriend for, like,
pull it off
all those years, moving around too, and not telling my parents until I move out at 18? What? I was 12. And the way that I was gonna tell her was by getting her to come into, like, our secret hideaway place that the friend group had, which was just the women's bathroom. We had a lot of conversations in the women's bathroom. It was a fairly big bathroom at church, so it was also a public restroom. So get her in there and kiss her, and that was the way that, yeah. Very interesting.
Your elaborate plan.
Yes, this was my plan, and in hopes that she would like me and we would just be secretly dating until I was 18, and then get married and all that stuff. Because when I was younger, I always thought I would get married at 18. What? I always thought that as a young child.
It's okay, I did too. We'll get into that, but it's okay. Continue.
So that was my plan. 6 days before my 13th birthday. It was like a Monday and my birthday was on Sunday. Oh, also with the plan, I was thinking on doing it the Wednesday after, like at youth, like after youth, the Wednesday after my birthday, because like if she didn't end up liking me and then didn't come to my birthday party, then my parents would have probably started asking questions. So I was going to avoid that by doing it just after my birthday.
That's actually like bad, but also a genius plan.
See, I may have been dumb in 12, but I was still a genius. It was an evil gay genius.
Evil gay genius.
Wait,
name of the podcast? Name of the episode, Evil Gay Genius.
Wait, I just realized, like, I want to write a book of my testimony, and, like, maybe in the future I can end up, like, sharing my testimony more, and I can start titling it Evil Gay Genius.
Ooh, I like that.
It's kind of a funny title, but
it is.
I might do it. I feel like it might give some people the wrong idea, but
probably.
I swear I'm a hilarious person that's
True.
not homophobic.
True.
No matter what any of you people say about me on Instagram, I'm not homophobic just because I believe living in homosexuality is a sin. I love gay people and I love my gay friends, and attraction terms I also am gay, but yeah. But in terms of living in that, no, I'm not. I'm a Christian. Anyway, where was I?
Me no.
Okay, so
I know.
It was 6 days.
That's what it was.
6 days before my 13th birthday. It was a Monday, and I was just listening to music. I was also dealing with a lot of depression and anxiety after, like, COVID. So, like, I'm listening to just 21 Pilots, like, every second of the day at that part of my life. And, like, I was supposed to be helping my brother clean the bathroom. I'm very sorry, Connor. That never helps you clean the bathroom. I was supposed to help him clean the bathroom. And then my mom was like, you need to help your brother clean the bathroom. And then I just, like, go up against the wall and start kind of, like, throwing this tantrum. Like, no, I don't want to, because, depressed gay tween. This is mostly funny. Please don't be offended by that. No, I'm just depressed. And like all of this stuff. And, like, I'm also trying to hide this major secret from my family that is literally this big feeling that I feel constantly in the insides of my body. Anyway, so, like, yeah, and I was like, no, and then she's like, and then we go into her room, and we, like, start talking, she's like, what's going on? But it's just funny the way that I came out. It's like, I like girls and guys. Like, I was, like, upset about the guys part, which is kind of funny, because I didn't realize I was saying it that way when I was saying it. You would think that I would be upset about the girls part, but I just sounded upset about the guys part.
Yeah.
And it took her a second to, like, realize what I said. She did pray for me, and, like, then she left the room, and then, like, I remember praying. It wasn't like a sinner's prayer, which I have done, like, before in the past, which I honestly completely forgot about getting into, but it doesn't matter. But, like, I prayed, and, like, something changed. Like, after that, like, I started actually reading the Bible and taking God more seriously and stuff like that. And, like, I went back to church telling my friends that I was gonna be straight. That I was straight now. That it doesn't happen like that. I learned, like, really quickly that it doesn't go down like that. I still had a lot to learn about the stuff theologically, and really, like, progressive Christians and also, like, extreme conservative Christians are both gonna get mad at me about what I think about same-sex attraction and all that theologically. Let's just be honest. They're both gonna be mad. We can get into that more in future episodes and stuff like that. But I think I have good reason for what I believe. Like, I believe that living in that is sin, and you cannot do that while also being a Christian. But also believe that, like, every Christian has different struggles, so I don't take the whole idea of like, oh, but if you're truly a Christian, then you can't struggle with this. Because that's about as stupid as saying like, well, if you're truly a Christian, you won't struggle with gossip or with anger or with any lust anyway. Like, that's just dumb. That's disqualifying like most Christians from being a Christian. So, anyway, really after that, everything started changing, and I'm a Christian to this day, and things have been hard, and I've been tempted to live by my attractions and stuff like that, but it's not worth it. And I think that's it.
That was beautiful. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. That was probably long.
No, it's okay. I actually don't think I've ever heard the full story. I just kind of know like the basics, the logistics of like, this and this, yes.
And when I do write a book, I'll try to go deep into my life.
Fill out those pages.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's my turn now.
It is your turn.
I've shared my testimony quite a bit. And I enjoy sharing my testimony just because, it's a, I don't know, not an impactful one, but it's full of, some pretty crazy and hard things to deal with, especially as a woman in today's society. But I'll start at the beginning. I was raised in a Christian home. My dad was a youth pastor when I was little, and like he went to this campus. My mom worked here, and so I was constantly here. This is a Christian campus, so I was raised around by.
Yes, amen.
Yes, I was I was raised by in a Christian household, and I had an older brother. I had an older sister, and I eventually had a younger sister. We also did fostering growing up as well, but that's not important to my testimony, really. But my older sister, when I was around 7 years old, I'd say, started to act out in unhealthy ways, whether it was some substance abuse or bringing people home that were not supposed to be in our home, things like that. She just started acting out in certain ways, and eventually, should I stop?
No.
Okay. And eventually, those things led to her being no longer allowed to live with our family just because of choices that she made. And for a long time, I really hated that. But to be fair, they were some pretty heinous things. And while there's young children in the home, my little sister was just born. My little sister is 7 years younger than me. So a lot of things like that. And once she was out of the house, all the attention was back on my sister and I, my little sister and I. My brother is older, and he moved out of the house when I was really little, so he is not completely relevant to all of this. I just figured I'd mention it. But once my older sister had left the house, all the attention was back on me and my little sister. And I wanted as much attention as I could from my parents. And so I started acting out in different ways than my older sister did. But I was acting out in those ways with just lying and doing things that I shouldn't have been doing at 10 years old. And then I got to middle school, and in middle school I met my best friend, Jonah. And he and I became really, really close, really, really fast, and we just kind of grew up together. But when I was in middle school, I started being like, girls are pretty cool, you know? What is this, you know?
I agree with that.
Yeah. And I started thinking like, okay, if a boy can like a girl and a girl can like a boy. Why can't a girl like a girl and a boy like a boy? And I started doing research, and research meaning TikTok had just come out, and I was like, ooh, TikTok. And so I had TikTok on an iPad or something. And
so was TikTok your gay awakening?
Fun fact, I was in love with the Descendants series. If you went when I went back, if you go back into my iPod Touch, when I was in middle school, I was deeply obsessed, and eventually, I'll tell you, I also have diagnosed OCD, and one of my main triggers was people, and I really, really launched myself into Dove Cameron. And I was my iPod was just filled with Dove Cameron pictures. And I would just look at them, and I would stare at them, and I would do research on her. I watched every interview. I watched everything that she had been in, and it was just like a whole thing. And then eventually I realized, like, okay, do I want to be her, or do I want to be with her? And I realized that, like, I want to be with her. I don't want to be her, you know.
This is crazy.
I know. It is a thing, apparently.
Yeah, like,
I didn't know that.
Like, for me, it was just like, oh, that was the first time, like, I heard about it. Like really heard about it. But like, I was not expecting that.
But anyway, I got into high school, and I got my very first job. Let me back up. I got my very first job at 14 years old. The day I turned 14, I got a job working for my dad at Little Caesars. And I worked there. Yes, and I worked there until I was 15.
Pizza.
And I started not walking. I started working at a new place that I won't say the name of just because I'm not going to. But I was 15, and I started working at a new place. And I'd worked there for a couple months, and this is where it gets unserious, and this is where it gets very serious and scary. So there was a coworker of mine. He was in his early 20s, started working with me, and I was training him one day, and one thing led to another, and I was taken advantage of. And I was 15, and he was, I think, 26 maybe. He told me that if I would tell anyone, that he would kill me. So I decided not to tell anyone. Eventually, weeks and weeks went by, and it came to the point where I did need to tell someone. And before I could tell someone, the guy hurt me pretty bad physically. He tried to kill me, but he obviously didn't work because I'm still here.
Yay!
But before he could, my best friend Jonah was working with me at the time, as I mentioned him earlier, was working with me, and he, like, I when I say it, it sounds so, like, theatrical, like he came in at the right moment, but he really truly did, and honestly, that's God. He came in and he stopped everything, and I am eventually okay. But dealing with that at 15 was really hard, and I started to fall away from God and just having these really, really dark thoughts. And honestly, I didn't want to be alive anymore, to be quite frank. I started down the self-harm journey, and just self-sabotaging things to myself, to my body. And there were people that were around me, and they could tell, but they couldn't really tell. So I didn't reach out, and I didn't get any help that I needed. Until eventually I met this fine young gentleman in my sophomore year of high school. I'm not going to say his name, but I met him, and I fell in love with him, and we started dating, and we had been dating for quite a few years. And when I was 18, he proposed to me. He said, "Will you marry me?" When I was 17, sorry. And I said,
"Wow, young."
That was the plan. And I said, yes, I would love to marry you. So I was engaged at 17, ready to be married at 18. And my only friends at the time were my friend Ollie, my fiance, and my friend Jonah. My only friends. And then one night I was sitting with my fiance on his bed, and he was talking to me. He said, "You know what?" And I said, "What?" And he goes, "I'm gay." And I said, "Oh, so this isn't going to work out." And he said, "No." And I said, "Okay, wow." That's not exactly how it went down. That's the basics of it. Okay, great. And I was like, "You know what? Me too." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And so we broke up, and we kind of were friends, but not really. And I
do have a question.
Okay.
You were like, "You know what? Me too."
Mm-hmm.
Were you gay or were you bi?
So that's a good question. I don't really know.
Okay.
I don't really know. I was just like, if I technically had to put a label on it, currently, I would probably say pan is probably what it is. Just because I'm like, I don't really care.
Everyone!
Yeah, exactly. But
it does not mean that she likes pans, guys.
No, it doesn't. No. Anyway, back to it. And I started casually dating and sleeping with lots of people as a 17-year-old into being 18. By the way, my age. Can I share my age?
Yeah.
You shared yours.
Okay.
I'm almost 21, so this was
not that old.
It wasn't that long ago that all this happened. Yeah. But anyway, I finally was fed up, and I was still in this journey of I was going to say darkness and despair, but that sounds silly. So, depression. I was deep in depression. I was hospitalized, and after I had come out of the hospital, not the closet, after I'd come out of the hospital, I realized that I needed to get my life together, and the main thing of that was I needed to have an actual relationship with Jesus.
Amen!
And so I pursued that, and I have ever since, and I love Jesus so much. And he's just like, I don't know, I think Jesus is like, I don't know, he's like literally God. I can't
He is literally God.
Like I can't express how much, like, how cool it is. Anyway, I started getting into a really, really good relationship with God, and I was like, you know what? I'm okay. I'm okay that I won't be married at 18, even though that was my thing. And I had been doing this since I was up until I was 19. And then last August, so it's almost been a year since it's happened. It's been, let's see, 333 days.
333 days is crazy.
333 days ago, my best friend Jonah, as we've been talking about, my best friend Jonah, he also struggled with homosexuality, and he and I had some really, really good talks. We prayed a lot, and I thought he was getting help that he needed, not just because of homosexuality, but because of his own dark thoughts that I didn't know were as intense as they were. And so 333 days ago, on my friend Summer's birthday, my best friend Jonah committed suicide. And that was tough, obviously, mostly because I was there with him that night. And part of me for a long time, months, really thought that I could have stopped it. I could have helped him. Now I know that it wasn't my fault, and he had already made up his mind, and I couldn't have stopped him if I wanted to. But that was really hard, and that really sucked. And that was another thing that I was just like, okay, God, what are you gonna do with this? Because this is bad. This is really bad. Because I had 3 friends, and then one of them broke up with me, and then the other one died, and that just really sucked. And turns out God's timing is absolutely immaculate, because it happened, and I had so many friends here at this undisclosed college campus run to me and just be with me in those dark moments, including McKenzie here. And I know that's mostly who's watching this video, and most of you guys have already known my testimony, but quick shout out, love you guys, thank you. All that to say, I'm very grateful that this is sound weird. I'm very grateful that it happened this year rather than any other year, just because this year I am and was surrounded by so many spiritually strong, I was going to say young women and men, but mostly women, who just really helped me through this dark time and really helped me strengthen my relationship with the Lord. So yeah, that's my testimony. It's a little dark and scary, but I'm okay now. So
yeah.
And I'm almost 2 years self-harm free, so rock on, freaky bro.
Yeah, I remember you telling me a little bits and pieces of that, but a lot about like Jonah that one time.
Yeah,
that, like I was also having a hard time, and I kind of figured that you were gonna talk about it, and like as soon as the conversation went to that time, I was like, don't cry.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna stop this video and do the second part in another video, just maybe to make editing easier for me.
Okay, perfect.
So we're gonna do that real quick.
Yay! And then, where am I? Hold on, I'll remember.
I did that earlier.
Hold on. Sorry. Hold on. ASMR. The stress is like, oh, I remember. Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Testing. Testing.
Okay, perfect. Let's do it.